It's Teresa, gardening on the West Fork, Zone 6. And by now you've probably, if you've been watching me, we just got back from a road trip a couple days ago, picking up some more Fieldstone. And these are really nice pieces to start the project today on the pathway over here under the willow tree. Because you can see why. I don't know why I have been mowing this little patch of grass for years. So my plan today is get it marked where I want it to begin, take the sod off, move the dirt around if it's not too muddy, and then I may have to dry it off and then come back. It's supposed to be warm today, warm tomorrow, and then maybe start laying out the stones. So let's get started. First of all, I've been down here looking, Reg too, about where the curve wants to be, because we want to keep this nice curve in this garden. So we're going to go marking with this nice orange. I think, what do you think? Yeah, I think that's going to be fine. So that's where we hope to we've got the curve made. I'll start laying stone once I get the sod off. And so I'm going to get started moving the sod off of the soil. I think I'll end up back here. It shouldn't be hard. It's been really wet, and it will come off very easily. Look at that. It just scrapes right off. So this shouldn't be a big problem. And this will allow it to dry out a little bit too, so that when I'm working with it, I can, if I had a bare spot, and there are a few, I would lay the sod down, but this isn't the best sod to lay down. I'll just have to reseed a few of those areas this spring. So this is a project that'll come together so nicely. And this is a water-based orange paint, just an FYI. So once I get the edge where I want it, we're expecting some rain, some snow. And that should rinse right off. But I like how this is coming off. And if any of you have taken sod off, you want to always do it in the spring if possible, and when it's nice and moist, because it can be challenging if you don't get it on a wet day. That just makes your job that much harder. So I'm going to go ahead, continue doing this. I'll set up my camera and I'll let you watch the process. Okay guys, so I'm back and I have picked up a new tool. I got my maddock. I think it's going to be my tool of choice. So now let's get to work. At this point, I need to bring a few stones up, edge a little closer to this edge over here. I'll show you where it is. The edge here. I think I need to dig a little bit of this out, where my rake is pointing to, right in here, so that my stones will lay a little flatter. So let's get a few of those rock. So guys, I'm back and I've got my dolly here and it's working out real handy in getting the rocks from down there up here, and I'm just gonna lay them out and see how far I get. So here we go. It makes it a lot easier to scoot them around and make a decision where you want to put them. You got to make it easier when it's just you out here working. And thanks to Judy and Mike for giving us the opportunity to come and get their rock. But you can kind of see how and why I wanted the bigger stones around the front, so that they would definitely give it much of an edge, much more of an edge. I'm fussing a little much here, more than what I need to, and I said I was just going to lay them out. But you get so excited with these projects, and so I can get ahead of myself, bring too many stones into the project. So it is a great day to be doing this. It's kind of surprising how nice the weather has gotten. But you can see how you can set these in place, and you want to be able, that one needs to be sunk down. Whenever you're laying a path like this, in my opinion, you need to just be able to walk without tripping, stepping your foot, what am I thinking of? Knocking your toe, not tripping on anything. So as you go through, you'll dig them in a little more, get them in. So I went up, had some lunch, rethought my whole thought about having the largest stones in the curve. Reg and I looked out the window, and it wasn't making the curve, so we took those out, and I like this much better. The smaller stones, the bigger stones will fill in the center. I'll probably build that one up in front of the steps, but this makes me real happy, being able to get in here now, and I have what I wanted to do. You'd just be surprised when you're building a stone pathway like this. I found this one looks like a heart. Just how nice you want these to fit. So you pick them up, put a little dirt, pound it in, not the grass, and get it in here. If it doesn't sit level, you dig it out a little bit. There. And you keep moving. Keep moving to make your curves. Is going better. I never thought that I'd be into this today. I thought it was all too wet, and it isn't. So that makes me very, very happy. Trying to find the right rock for the right spot. Interesting. So this is where I am, and I'm going to keep going, and then I'll do another little shot by the time I finish today. And I doubt if I'll get it all done. I'm not going to work till I'm out of rocks, or maybe I will, but you'll see. The revisiting of the edge and getting started. I'm real pleased with how far I've gotten so far. Where the black mat is, let me stand back, and you can see the curvature. And I've gotten things settled in, dug in, matted in. And so where the black mat is, right here, is where I've stopped to finish tomorrow. Figuring out where they all go, but the biggest thing was getting the large pieces figured out. And knowing where they're going to be placed. Let's take a look from this side. I'm just very pleased. And like I said, once the hostas come out, once the painted ferns over there come out, I think it's going to be, it's been a fun project. Perfect day for it too. And so that's it for the day one of putting together the walkway under the willow tree. And we'll finish up, I will finish up hopefully tomorrow. So till then, thanks for watching Gardening on the West Fork. Okay, everybody, it's the next day, and I had such a good day yesterday getting all the rocks placed, halfway dug in and secured. And through the night, I decided it would be nice. I don't think I want to see any other plantings. I talked about getting maybe little plugs of miniature grasses or some thyme in here. But once I was in the house and looked at how this looks from the windows, I like it looking clean. So we've used this it's called the Polymeric Sand. It's great for pavers. We've used it at the house with pavers and in walkways before. And I'm going to use the Polymeric Sand. You brush it in with a broom, then you wet it. And what it does, it does secure the stones or pavers, keeps them from moving, keeps weeds from growing. So I'm going to use it down here, and it will help secure the stones even more. Simple procedure. It is just sand. You can see just a nice sand. When it's wet, it'll harden. So the process with this is, once I'm done, you put it on an area, sweep it into the cracks, which I'll do, and then you work your way around. Then you wet it with a hose, which I've got down here already, for 30 seconds, and then you wait, and then you go ahead and wet it again. You can add more if you think it needs more, and that should be it. So this has been a great project. I'm just happy with how it's looked. And the way I'm going to proceed today is I'm going to start in the center where I left off, and I'm going to place the largest stones first, and then I'll work from the sides and come up with that nice curve that I want. This has been a great job. So today we're going to get this project finished, I feel certain. And can you believe that today it's going to be 65, and this is March, and tomorrow, or starting tonight through tomorrow, we could have 4 to 6 inches of snow. It's just March. So this is the project you do. You don't plant anything yet here in West Virginia because of these temperatures. And then next week back up. So let's get started. Notice I keep standing up because you must get a perspective of how you want your walkway. I want it to come out and then in and then taper back towards this path here. Yeah. It truly is a fun little project, a big project to do. But once you get moving, you just get all focused in on it, and it tends to just move right along. It's quiet out here so far. Not a lot happening out in the neighborhood. I went ahead and finished putting the stones down, and you can see they're looking good. I've just blown the stones off the dirt with the blower, and now this is the polymorphic sand. And I'm just going to start throwing it in the cracks, up to 1/8 they say, but we'll sweep all that in. And then we just have to wet it in. And it will help it'll help keep them secure, reed suppression, and just look neat and tidy. And it will all look natural. All right, so I'll continue on, and then we'll come back when I get ready to wet it down. See you in a few. So, we've just finished up almost with the polymorphic sand, and it's been really easy. We took a little solo cup, got in all the crevices, and all we have left to do now is to wet it down. And once I quit sweeping, I will start that process. But this will just, it looks so nice. I'm glad I didn't go with plugging things. That could be more work, having plants in here. We'll see how well it does under this tree, but it is so nice to get rid of that little strip of ground. So I'll finish sweeping, and then we'll do the throwing of the water. Hey guys, I'm getting ready to wet down the polymeric sand, not morphic sand. Polymeric sand, light wet. And before I did this, I took the leaf blower and I blew off any excess off the rocks. And it says, once we get it wet down, to wait 30 seconds and wet it again. Polymeric sand. It's probably been 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now we wait 30 seconds more and wet it again. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So that looks so nice when you wet it down. It does. And when things come into bloom, the ostrich ferns and you can see the hostas right here. I hope I haven't, you can see their pink little heads coming up, but I want them to wait because we're getting a storm. As I may have mentioned tonight, you know, I don't know how many inches. They say 4 to 6. I bet we see 1. But 30 seconds later, you go back and wet it again. Polymeric sand. You can almost see it expanding in front of your eyes. It's changed texture. And it did say after the second 30 seconds that if anything's puddling that you want to, you know, blow it off with your, if it doesn't settle. All right, 30 seconds later. And now we just let it set. And there's the project. Big project.
I think you're going to be really pleased with this, Teresa. This
I am.
Turned out very, very nice.
Yeah.
It was really better than I thought it would.
I agree. So thanks to the initial people who said, yeah, get rid of that strip of grass, like Jeanette. Thank you, Jeanette, the enthusiastic gardener, and please watch her. And then to our friends, I can't say enough, to Judy and Mike, who ended up giving us these nice, huge pieces of stone that accented our little bit of stone. And we only had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 stones left out of the rock that we gathered. So that's a miracle in itself. Praise be Jesus. So there you have it. The pathway under the willow tree is complete. Thanks for watching Gardening on the West Fork. We'll see you in the next video. Please subscribe and hit the bell when you'll know for the next one.